Quarantäne, Grippe. Betreten Sie diesen Bereich nicht im Auftrag des Gesundheitsministeriums. Gesundheitsbeauftragter. Okay. So. Na gut. Und aber die Lebensmittel lassen wir draußen stehen, sodass jeder auf diese Lebensmittel raufhusten kann. Lecker. Gesegnet sei der Knüppelfreitag. Und wir machen das sehr gut.
Flower of Whitechapel, an angel made flesh, I tell you.
Guten Tag, mein Guter.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Ja, aber Krankheiten und so, das ist ja uncool.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Das war ja hier, ne, während des Lockdowns und so, diese Ruhe, die hatten wir auch, das fand ich total faszinierend, dass einfach mal die Stadt wie tot war. Also so richtig tot. Man auch nicht mal mehr Windows-Shopping machen konnte oder sowas. Aber es ist für mich trotzdem keine friedliche Stille hier.
Peaceful? That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
Wie denn? Wir sind Arzt. Ich weiß, wir haben gerade und so, aber wir sind eigentlich Arzt.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives, how she survives, whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
Voller Stimmungswechsel irgendwie.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Okay. Ja. Behandlung gegen Erkältung. Ah, bin ich dabei. Schade.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Schade.
Morbidity can breathe its own beauty and grace. Whitechapel is not just disease, desertion, and despair. Some of us come to this world already touched.
Absagebrief eines Verlages. Sycophant Publishing Ltd. Lavender Court, Hampton Street, London. Sehr geehrte Mr. Nethercott, vielen Dank für die Übersendung Ihres Gedichtbandes Lieder aus der besiegten Stadt, den wir interessant und tiefgründig fanden, wie wir Ihnen schon nach Erhalt des ersten Exemplares mitteilten. Haben Sie angesichts dieser schrecklichen Zeiten, die unser Land durchlebt, bitte Verständnis dafür, dass es momentan ausgeschlossen ist, ein Buch mit diesem Titel zu veröffentlichen, da Sie sich mal noch weigern, die Titel zu ändern und Ihr Werk vollständig oder gar nicht publiziert sehen wollen, muss ich Ihnen leider mitteilen, dass sich Sycophant Publishing für letztere Option entschieden hat. Mit freundlichen Grüßen, A.G. Morris. Ja, nun gut. Blumenstrauß. Ein kleiner Blumenstrauß, ein Gutschein für eine kostenlose medizinische Untersuchung ist zwischen den Blumen versteckt. Mag man nochmal so eine Notiz. Camellia. Ach, das ist für die Camellia. Oh, okay. Interessant, interessant. Wer bist du?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary.
Gelübde?
A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever.
Versteht er das nicht?
Tell me about Richard Nithercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
Mensch, das ist unsere gesprächigste Partnerperson, die wir bis
Very
jetzt
well.
getroffen haben. Nein!
Goodbye then. Hello again, miss.
Okay, mehr haben wir nicht. Gesundheit dazu schon. 5000 Punkte hat die aber.
Very well. Goodbye then.
Na gut. Hier nochmal so einen Blumenstrauß mit dem Ring. Den haben wir ja auch bei uns da gefunden, ne? Finde den Briefkasten. Da ist ein Briefkasten. Ja. Darius, dem Vestrus Brief. Meine lieben Kinder, es tut mir so leid, dass ihr einige Monate lang nichts von mir gehört habt. Die Lage in London war sehr schwierig. Ich weiß, es klingt vielleicht egoistisch und töricht, wenn ihr, meine Kinder, noch in einem Land lebt, das vom Krieg heimgesucht wird. Aber auch hier in England tobt ein Krieg. Ein Krieg gegen Armut und Ungerechtigkeit. Diesen Krieg will ich trotz meines fortgeschrittenen Alters führen. Deshalb schreibe ich euch heute. Ich werde nicht nach Rumänien zurückkehren. Das bedeutet, ich sehe euch wahrscheinlich nicht wieder, bevor ich sterbe. Seid nicht traurig, meine Lieben. Seid mittlerweile erwachsen und habt selbst Kinder. Ihr wisst, welche Opfer wir manchmal bringen müssen, um diese Welt zu einem besseren Ort zu machen. Und diese muss ich euch nun bringen, damit ich nicht noch ein letztes Mal fühlen kann. Ich wünsche euch ein langes und glückliches Leben. Gebt meinen Enkeln einen Kuss von mir und vergesst nicht, dass euer Vater euch weit ab alten Heimat liebt. Euer ewig liebender Vater Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Gebärdensprache wäre eine
Darius is a bit
Hilfe
less of a
gewesen.
mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Danke, unser lieber Doktor. Ich meine, im Prinzip, wir sind ja schon so episch und sind Vampir und können die ja ein bisschen kontrollieren. Also theoretisch müsste sie nicht ehrlich auch irgendwann so reinkrebsen können in den Kopf. Okay. Quarantäne. Wen haben wir denn hier?
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Kann ich irgendwie nachvollziehen?
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Ist ja diese, weiß nicht, silbernen Haardinger da. Irgendwie das mal aus wie Fische, die in ihrem Ohr runterhängen.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Oh.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Stimmt.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crasionescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Oh, guck mal, wir können die gute Dame helfen.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Ah.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Es fühlt sich eigentlich mehr so an, als würden wir so ein Redesimulator spielen. Wir rennen immer von einer Gesprächsoption zur nächsten. Ich meine, ist gut für mich, muss ich nicht so viel reden.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Ja, das waren diese Skulls dann wieder, ne? Wollen wir die mal... ist auch nicht gefragt. Warum nicht?
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Und sie ist eine gute Schwester.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free.
Oh,
I offered
nein.
to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Wie schlimm. Sie hilft Menschen, ohne Bezahlung zu erwarten. Schockschwere Not.
Do you need help, sir?
I only need you to purchase something from my shop, sir.
No.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
I should never have taken up my father's business.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Anstufe Zeit benötigt. Nein! Wir müssen doch mal schlafen gehen wahrscheinlich.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see, Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Nein, wir mögen doch Dorothea eigentlich. Oh, ich hoffe mal, dass wir ihn jetzt anfangen. Oh, erstmal beklauen wir den. Große Pillendose, auch das nehmen wir doch gerne mit. Was man halt so macht, wenn man in ein unbekanntes, fremdes Haus reingekommen ist.
It's locked, all right.
Erstmal alles klauen. Auch als